I would like to introduce on stage the winner of My Data is Mine, because this, the paper that won this year, the award is titled Data Altruism by Default, an Alternative to Consent for Personal Data Processing in Machine Learning. We will hear from the author in just a few seconds, but I think this is a really interesting concept we should start reasoning about, and we will discuss also with other guests in a moment. But please welcome on stage the winner of My Data is Mine 2024, Tia Mustac. Hi, Tia. So this is for you. This is the award, which is designed by our colleague Luca Di Garbo. And congratulations, and take your seat, and we will discuss about your paper. So I mean, when we received your paper, we found so fascinating the concept of data altruism, because this is something that you found in the European legislation in the Data Governance Act, but your notion of data altruism is so far away from the Data Governance Act notion. So it's something completely different. And I mean, it's extremely timely as a topic, considering the debate that is ongoing now in Europe about which is the legal basis for processing this data. This is what else was referring about. And I mean, it's something that is not purely technical. It's the fact that many products, AI empowered in this moment, are not available in Europe, is because the uncertainty on the legal basis for processing data. So now we have several products from Apple, Meta, and other companies that are available in other geographies, but not in Europe, just because these technical details. So it's so fascinating for lawyers to say, okay, we are just at the center of the stage. It's our fault, it's our merit, if something entered the market or not. So I would like for you to explain a little bit to the audience, what is your notion of data altruism in the domain of the AI?
Thank you, and thank you for having me, first of all. Thank you for the award. Yes, data altruism, God. I thought of the title of my paper, or I was thinking about the idea before I actually discovered the notion in the Data Act. And then someone asked me, oh, is that like the same with the Data Governance Act? And I was like, oh, wait, let me check. Oh, no, that's completely off the point. So basically, I agree with all my fellow speakers. Consumers need to be protected. They need to have certain rights over their own data. But I believe that that also has a certain point where it needs to end, because it makes no sense. So I've spent the last year or two mostly advising startups. And we see it even with the big players who don't place their products on the European market because even they are not willing to budget in for the fines. And then when we are talking about startups, I was so sick and tired of being the evil lawyer that says, oh, you can't do that, or you theoretically can be compliant, but you just can't afford it. And so startups and SMEs need pathways, need guidelines, and don't need more roadblocks, because God knows they have enough of them. And so this paper was basically written out of, well, I wouldn't say frustration, but almost, with the current situation, because I talked to a lot of startups that had great ideas for medical AI, for computer vision things, and all of that needs data, and all of that, using our current GDPR criteria, can be theoretically traced back to the individual and can be personal, meaning GDPR applicable. And well, I am of the opinion that we need to stop treating every single processing operation the same way. They're not all the same. It's not one size fits all. And we also need to stop treating every tech company as a villain in disguise. They're not all out to get us and make money off of our data. Some of them really want to just do cool and useful things, and I think there should be a difference. And I believe that my version of data altruism would set somewhat more objective conditions as to how we could theoretically do that, which would also then make the whole thing more or less enforceable, because I don't think we are protecting data subject rights at the moment, at least not effectively and in a way that the GDPR wants us to. But we also don't have the services, so it appears we are in a lost-lost situation, which is rather unfortunate.